So in the very early stages of this show, I made a podcast episode giving you 10 easy things, simple things that you can do right now that will improve your life. So in this episode, in season 2, I'm going to improve on this. I actually think that all of these still apply today. I'm making a couple of tweaks to it, but I'm just going to kind of reiterate it, talk about them a little bit more, give some further perspective and a further analysis on them, and further, talk about my life experiences with regards to how it actually affects me in my life and how I participate and I do these things in my life as well and how it helps. So it's 10 simple things. I used to call them life hacks, but there's really no such thing as a life hack, but these are just 10 simple tricks that will improve your life. So welcome back to the 365 podcast. I make a podcast episode every single day for 365 days. You will be hated for speaking the truth.
You definitely have like an X-ray goggles on, where you can see someone's aura.
A house divided against itself shall not stand. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25.
If you want to make something of yourself, forget your political beliefs.
Because different believers experience God in different ways, different non-believers need different explanations to see God as real. Things that make you angry suck you in.
Satan's plan fails, right? And God's plan prevails.
So the point of these things is that you can do it right now. Or like the next time, again, you'll see a couple of them, maybe you can't do it right now, but the next time you're in a certain situation, you'll be able to do it and you'll be able to optimize for it. But for the most part, you can do these things right now. Like there are actionables that you can kind of take to make change in your life to do better. And sometimes it is simple. I think we fall into the trap of overthinking and overanalyzing so many things, when sometimes I think it becomes super simple to kind of find the answers to life and how to live a better life. So let's get into it. I'm going to go through the 10 simple tricks that will help you improve your life. So number 1, turn YouTube history off in your Google account. So this was the first one the last time, and it's going to stay the first one today. Again, I'm actually reading from the same page that I did that original thing in, but that was in episode 11. That was how long ago that was. This was like in October I made this episode talking about these things. So I'm going to read from the same page and I'm going to give a new perspective on them, and I'm going to tweak a couple of them. But we're starting with the YouTube history. And it's a game changer, man. When you go into your Google account and you turn your YouTube history off, YouTube stops allowing you to scroll on shorts. It stops showing you videos in your feed. So when you have to watch something, when you want to watch something, you have to be intentional about it. You have to actually go through the effort of actually searching something up that you want to watch. And you will not be able to scroll shorts into oblivion because it will cut you off. You can watch shorts on your main page, but then it will cut you off and it won't let you scroll any longer. I think this is amazing. This is a huge thing. Like they can allow you to just watch the people you're subscribed to, and you don't need to fall into that rabbit hole, right? The second you open YouTube, if your history is not off, sometimes they even put you straight into the shorts, and that's the point, right? They want you to get in there, they want you to be on the platform as long as possible. But you can take control of your YouTube watch time by being intentional with what you're searching for and only watching the things you're subscribed to, by turning off the history. And it really is a game changer. It just stops you from scrolling. It doesn't even let you scroll at all. And it just doesn't put videos in your feed. So really, you can go watch the things you're subscribed to, search things up, watch things like in an intentional way, so that you're not just falling straight into the dopamine. You actually have to give it some thought, and you have to actually think about it, so that it can only improve the quality of the content you consume, and it can only improve just the way you interact on social media in general. Unfortunately, not all social media platforms have this trick. Like Instagram, you can reset your algorithm, but it doesn't really do a very good job at it. But the best thing, and this has been the case for me I've had my YouTube account like this for almost a year now, probably. Just turn the history off, and then you'll be able to use YouTube for good, for just watching the things you want to watch instead of just being sucked into all of this crap that exists and the shorts, the scrolling, right? The loss of an attention span type of thing. It's a very good thing, and I think it really does change your relationship, the way you interact with these platforms. So of course, subscribe to this channel so that if you do decide to turn your history off, that you can always still get the videos for this channel, that you can always be intentional and watch these episodes. I hope that I'm giving you good value. So if I am, please subscribe and and show your support in any way you can. So that's the first one, and I think that has helped me in a big way change the relationship, change the narrative that I've had with social media. It's not perfect because I have another account where I don't have the history turned off, and you can also like go in and just not be on an account, and it'll allow you to scroll. But if you can be intentional and you can be like disciplined in yourself, this makes it a lot easier. This puts a barrier in the way of getting to that kick and the dopamine, which is scrolling, which plagues us all in such a big way, right? So this is another way to kind of put a blocker, put a barrier in between you and the thing that is very addictive, but you don't want to be doing. Number 2, when gaming, set an alarm for an hour and a half. This is actually a very good tip. It's a very good tip. I actually need to use it more often because in recent days I've fallen and played a little bit too many games. And I actually don't play that much video games anymore, but I've just been playing a few things, and I've kind of, like last night I was in bed a little bit too late because I fell into a little bit of a rabbit hole, let's say. You can maybe make the argument that you shouldn't play video games at all for the reason that it kind of takes your mind off of what's important, but I think to enjoy your life, you have to find things that you love, and I think video games are a good way to extrapolate that, but you shouldn't do it like so bad. Like, there's people that play games all day, right? 5 hours, like days just on games, and it's like, that used to be me. I was that. But I find that every time I put a limit, I put a timer on it, which I did a few times, but I actually have to get back into this. You're able to just know, like just psychologically, all right, you got an hour and a half, you can enjoy it, have a bit of enjoyment, and have a good time. But when that timer goes off, you're done. And you're done, you put it away, and you got to be responsible and go and do the other things you need to do for the day, whether it be being in bed at a good time or it be just getting other work done type of thing. So I actually personally need to do better at this, but if you're able to do this and you're able to kind of put this in your mind, you're again taking something that can be super addictive and you can spiral so far out of control and putting a blocker in there and making it like so that you can have the balance between actually enjoying yourself while not going way too far on it. I think an hour and a half is a good amount of time. I don't think it's nothing, but I think anything more, like maybe you could say 2 hours, but anything more than that, you're kind of falling into like, okay, you're wasting way too much time here playing the games instead of focusing on what you need to focus on in your life. So I think that this is still a very, very good tip, and it still applies very well today. I personally have to do better at this, but it's a really interesting idea. Obviously, you can just turn the timer off and like, the timer rings after an hour and a half and you just keep playing. But at the same time as well, with the scrolling, you can just like find some other place to scroll at, right? You can turn your YouTube history off, but then you can go to Instagram to scroll. It's just the point of like to make it a better relationship. Things that are addictive, that are proven to leave us to wasting so much time and destroying our brains, to make it a little bit more manageable. And I think adding a timer, putting that in your head that you're only going to play the game for this amount of time will allow you to have a more healthier relationship with it and will allow you to enjoy it more. Because instead of playing a game, like let's say you're playing a story game, like I play a lot of Pokemon, for example, and there was a day where I played for like 8 hours straight, basically. And I'm like, if I had instead of playing in one bulky session, if I had like spread it out like a couple hours every day, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more because it's just kind of being spread out more. And it's like I'm actually like enjoying it instead of just doing it all in one go. You're kind of rushing it a bit. So that's kind of what I feel. And I think it's a very good way to regulate it. Again, you have to actually know that you're turning it off at the end of the timer. Don't just set a timer and then just skip it, right? Know that you're going to be done when the timer goes, and you can have a healthy relationship with your video games. You can find that balance between enjoying yourself and also not letting it go too far. Number 3, be in bed at or before 10 p.m. every night. This is, I think I mentioned this and I talked about this in the first installment, the first time I talked about this, but this is something that Alex Hormozi talks about as being this, like one thing that you can do that has a variety of different benefits. It's like a superhuman trait, basically. If you're in bed at 10 p.m. every night, you're able to have better sleep. It'll allow you to wake up early the next morning. You avoid so many issues. You avoid getting drunk. You avoid having sex. You avoid falling into drugs and addictions. You avoid getting hurt. You avoid getting into a car crash. You avoid getting into so many things that unfortunately happen if you're going out super late at night partying or just being out and about every single night. Being in bed at 10 basically solves all those issues. You're just basically guaranteeing that you're going to have a good night's sleep and you're going to be able to grind harder the next day, and you're basically keeping yourself safe, keeping yourself healthy, keeping yourself honest, kind of doing all of these things simultaneously just by changing one habit. And that one habit is the time you go to bed and making that time you go to bed early. And this is a beautiful thing. Every time in my life that I've been able to consistently be in bed at or before 10 p.m., I'd be feeling great. Like, I'd be able to wake up at 5 and feel great. I'd be able to wake up at 6:30 and feel great. The best period of my life was when I was just able to naturally wake up, and it would be like 7 o'clock, and I'd feel amazing. I'd feel ready to go. That unfortunately doesn't happen anymore. I'm trying to get myself back to that state, but I'm also working a job now where I have to wake up ridiculously early. And some days I wake up early, some days I don't wake up early, and that kind of messes up my sleep schedule a little bit. But every time in my life I've been able to have that consistency, and it's about the time you go to bed more so than it is the time you wake up. Every time I've had that consistency, I have just been able to thrive, and I'd be able to live greater days and start my days better, and also like not fall into a lot of the issues that plague a lot of people. And again, you're only lowering the chances you fall into any of these things. You're basically putting those odds down to zero of falling into all of this heathen and falling into all of this mess and having a lot of things in your life that you might regret, because a lot of that stuff you might regret happens at night when you're a little bit drunk, when you're a little bit woozy and you're not actually fully present in something. A lot of those things that could potentially ruin your life happen at that point in the night. So being in bed early allows you to kind of just say to all of that, you're just rejecting all of that and being able to just focus on your sleep and focus on your health. And I think that's a beautiful thing. It's an important thing. And as much as people love to stay up late, like for example, I've stayed up late sometimes playing video games. I did that yesterday. I already talked about it. I think it's just like, it's okay and it's fun in the moment, but then you have to suffer the next morning. And I think if instead of playing video games super late at night, you're able to just cut it off, 10 o'clock you're in bed, it just makes things a lot smoother, goes a lot smoother, and your life is just a lot better, I think. And again, I speak from experience because I've had both moments in my life where I was in bed super late every night, I was in bed early every night for a season, and there's a season, and this is like I'm in that season in my life right now where it's just kind of all over the place. Like some nights yes, some nights no, and as a result, it's just kind of like my sleeping patterns are a little bit messed up. But when I had that period when I was in bed at 10, I felt the greatest, and it was honestly like the best thing. As much as people kind of criticize it, I think it really is important. I think it really is a testament. Like, it's you basically saying that you prioritize your own health over all of this other things, all this other garbage that can be going on in the nighttime. Number 4, first thing you do in the morning must be to go outside. This is a very, very good thing. Like, if you just go for a 5-minute walk every day in the morning when you wake up, it's the beautiful thing. I actually think like the first thing you should do in the morning is pray. But that is how I live my life, right? And I think I think that's what I would say to you. You should pray to God and give it to God. But once you're done praying, like in terms of what you're gonna do, the first thing in the morning that you should do is to get outside. The first like practical thing, like not prayer. Prayer is of course spiritual, but the first practical thing that you do is you go out for a walk, or you just get outside, get some fresh air. I find that when I don't get the fresh air, I find that like my eyes hurt a little bit and I feel a little bit more tired, especially if I've recorded a podcast episode. Like, I find that I feel a little bit more sluggish. Whereas if I went and got fresh air, I'm able to my head's a little bit more clear. I woke up, like I'm able to wake up a little bit quicker, a little bit better, a little bit easier. And it just makes things smoother. You have a little bit of like a peace that you have when you go out for a walk in the morning. And it's again, I find that I'm just saying these things because this is what I find in my life. I find that whenever I do get the fresh air first before doing anything else, I feel better than if I go on my phone first, or if I go straight into work without going outside at all. I find that I feel so much better, and I feel like my head's much clearer, and I'm at much more peace when I'm able to go outside and just take in a little bit of fresh air, whether it be on a walk or just to look out the window for a little bit. It just makes me feel better. It allows me to get into the day in a better way, in a more efficient way, and allows me to do what I need to do and not be so tired and not be so sluggish. I feel like I'm more tired and sluggish when I fail to do that. So this is a very good thing that really does make a difference to help you live better mornings and help you be more efficient in the mornings. Number 5, use AI to write. This one used to be, and I'm reading it right now, use AI to write cover letters, because it's very good for writing cover letters, and that's still true. But I'm actually going to tweak this a bit. You should use AI to write basically everything. And the reason why is because I personally hate AI. I don't like using ChatGPT to write emails, to write all this stuff. But the problem is that, like, they actually do a good job. Like, I write an email and then I put an email in and I say make it better. It actually makes it so much more concise and well written than anything I could have ever conjured up. So it kind of pisses me off that that's the case, but I have to like kind of put my biases to the side and say, all right, if you're going to write good emails, you should just put it into ChatGPT instead of wasting all the time doing it yourself. I think that makes logical sense. And like it will just make the emails better. And like the wordings that they use and the sentence structure is just way better than anything the vast majority of people can even conjure up. So it's like as much as I hate it and as much as I really don't support it, and I'd love to kind of express my creative side and do things on my own type of thing, to just say, hey, put it into ChatGPT. Like the reason why I put cover letters before and why they're still very good is because cover letters take a long time to write. You don't want to do that anyway, right? So to kind of put it into ChatGPT and say, hey, make a cover letter, but you have to be specific. Be like, make it talk about this thing, or make it like, don't make it very, obvious that it's AI, right? So you have to make some tweaks as well to it. Like it's obviously not, you're not just going to put in ChatGPT and then you're going to just send it out to job applications. No, you have to probably tweak it yourself a little bit to kind of make it a more personal thing. But I think it's not just cover letters where AI makes a lot of sense. It's in emails. It's in any other form of writing. Like maybe like every form of writing except for maybe like direct text messages to people, because that'd be stupid. It's like you're talking to someone, right? And it's texting. It's like if you're using AI, that's terrible. But it's like even AI uses like pickup lines and stuff via text, and that's like, and even AI does a better job than anything you can do, right? So it's like you gotta tread those waters a little bit, walk that line. But I think for something like emails and for something like, I don't know, website copy, let's say, like just put it all into AI, and I think like that is it will just make it good. And as much as I hate it, as much as I hate to admit it, it will just make it better than what you wrote. And that is just the ultimate truth. So if you want to make better stuff, you should absolutely put it into AI. And of course, if you want to save time, you should put it into AI as well, because the worst thing is to just waste hours just writing something that, like, especially like if not that many people see it, right? So like, especially if it's like copywriting, marketing copy type of thing, or writing emails, put it into AI and put it into large language models, and they will spit out something that is just way better, right? And it will just make the quality of your content better, and it'll allow you to kind of do what you need to do, whether it be to get more sales, get more clients, write emails and get more people to read the emails type of thing, or just be better at customer service, whatever the thing you're doing and whatever the thing you're using it for, it is just better. As much as I don't like to admit it, it just makes it better. Number 6, make quick cash by selling some old stuff. I don't know if I talked about this in the original episode, but I'm pretty sure the reason why I came up with this idea back then, and of course it still holds super true today, is because I sold a hockey card, an old hockey card that I had. I sold it for $150. And I sold it on eBay, so like on eBay, you should be careful because it takes a lot of it out of what you actually earn in like fees and all this crap and shipping labels. But I actually sold like a hockey card for $150, and like then I think I sold over $200 worth of just old hockey cards. And I actually have a friend who doesn't have a job and he's like trying to save up money. And my first advice to him to save up money is to just go and sell some of the stuff you have, because he has like a bunch of old like retro shoes and retro shirts and stuff that are super like fashion type of thing, because he's into that type of stuff, and it's just stuff that doesn't fit him. It's stuff that he doesn't even wear. Like I'd say like that's the easiest thing. You can sell some of that stuff, and you sell like a few items and you'll be able to make a couple $100. I think personally very easily. So if you're in like a quick need of cash and you just need like a couple $100 for whatever reason, the easiest way to do it is find a couple things in your house that like you don't really need anymore that you think has some value to it, and go and put it online. Like maybe not eBay, find some other site where you can do it on. There's plenty of places to go because eBay takes a lot of fees out of you, and that's why I kind of am talking about these things. But the reason why I did it, the reason why I wrote it is probably because of the fact that I did actually do that and I made a couple hundred by just selling stuff. It just kind of promotes that kind of like you're hustling, you're finding ways to make money in any way possible. And, you know, if you're strapped for cash, it's a very, very simple, very easy way to make it happen, right? And I think in any house, you'll find something that's of value, right? Like you don't even know, right? Even in this room, like you don't see the stuff that's in the background here, but I look at like old paintings to my right and like decor that I set up on a shelf to my left, and I look at it, it's like if I ever needed to, I could easily get some money for any one of these things, right? I don't need to right now because I work a job now, so I have money. I'm not like worried. But if you are strapped for cash and you're in an emergency, you need some money, like the easiest thing you can do is just go and put some stuff online and get some stuff that you see the value in and sell it, right? You might have to sell it for a little bit less than what it's worth, but it'll sell if there's truly good stuff, especially with my friend that I'm telling him to sell stuff. He has a lot of stuff that he can just so easily get a lot of money for, but he doesn't want to because, I don't know, he doesn't want to part ways with it. He has the sentimental attachment or whatever it may be, but I think you just kind of have to put that to the side, and it's like if you need the money, you got to get the money, right? And I think it's a very easy, quick and easy way to do it, right? And although not a lot of things in life are quick and easy, and sometimes maybe it'll take a couple weeks before someone buys it. Like it's not going to be like, oh, you put it online and it gets sold instantly. But in comparison to like having to work a minimum wage job and save up money with the minimum wage job and all the taxes that come out of it to make the money you need to make, it is probably faster for you to just sell a couple of valuable items here that you can find around your house to make that little bit of money. So that is why I wrote it originally, is because of what I did with my hockey cards. But I'm sure you can find something that you have that you can go and make a little bit of money off of. Number 7, maximize your phone use by putting all useful apps on the first page. This is so good because I actually am like utilizing this. Like when I upload these videos, I upload them on YouTube, but I keep YouTube on my second page because I don't want to fall into other scrolling and type of thing. So I only use YouTube to upload these episodes of the podcast, right? I put YouTube and TikTok where I upload shorts occasionally, and Roblox, which I play. I put that all on the second page because that stuff is not important in comparison to what I have to do on the first page. So on the first page, I have stuff like, I'm trying to think what I have on there, like my camera, obviously, the photos, which I use for episodes, of course, like my communicative social medias like WhatsApp and Slack for business. My sports app, so I get to kind of consume that stuff, but it's like obviously that's not very productive, but I prefer to just look at some scores and stuff instead of just scrolling to oblivion, and a couple other things here and there. I can't even really remember right now what I got, but obviously like my school stuff as well, like Google Drive, Google Docs, those kinds of things. Those are on the first page, and it's all on purpose because like, okay, YouTube's important when I upload these episodes, but when I'm not uploading these episodes, it's not important. You're just wasting time scrolling or watching videos, doing whatever. So I think it has really helped me not fall into those patterns by keeping it just out of sight, out of mind type of thing. It's on the second page. You use it when you need it, and when you're finished the day, I'll play a little bit of games and stuff. But when you're kind of going through the day, you need to be productive. I find that it actually has really helped me to just leave it on the second page, so it's truly out of sight, out of mind. You're focused on what you need to focus on, and it's all on the first page of your phone. And it'll allow you to maximize your phone because your phone gives you so many different inputs, right? Your phone, everything's in your phone. And we as humans, we're just not able to grasp all of it, right? Because there's so many things you can do on your phone. It can be productive, it can be unproductive. It can be good, it can be bad. It can produce some of the craziest emotions of any kind using your phone. So I think to have a little bit of structure where it's like, all right, when you need to do work, you go here. When you want to just chill, you go here. It makes it a lot easier to navigate, and it makes your phone use a lot more efficient, and it makes you a lot more productive with what you do on your phone. You don't just fall into scrolling right away. It, again, like just putting on the second page, it seems small, but again, it just puts another barrier between that thing that makes you so addicted versus like what you actually have to do, right? And I think just putting that barrier in there, it makes a huge difference. And it really has helped me in many ways, especially in recent times. So it like definitely more recent times than when I made this episode in the past. So I would say like that's what you should do as well. Number 8, for long flights, the aisle seat is the best. I still maintain this. This is the same. This is one of the examples of the things that you can't do right now. Like all the other things you could probably do right now, but this is the thing that you can't do. Obviously, you have to wait till the next time you go on a flight, you get on an airplane. Especially if you're going on a long flight, because the flights I'm used to are the transatlantic flights, right, from Canada to Portugal and back, right, which is what I've done a few times. And I recently went to Spain, so I did it again, right? So I actually did like from the last time I made this episode to how I'm talking about it now, I actually did it again. So I unfortunately had a middle seat. I couldn't choose, and I didn't spend the extra money to choose. I had a middle seat, and the flight was full, so there was nothing I could do about it. But like, it's just way better to have an aisle seat. Like, one of the best flights I ever had was when I had the aisle, and I got lucky that there was no one sitting in the middle. So I literally could just sit in the middle, like extend my feet like super far out, and like literally just chill, right? For the majority of the flight. Obviously, I had to move my feet in when people were passing, obviously. But for the majority of the flight, I could just fully extend my feet, just chill. I used the bathroom like 4 times because I could. Like there's nothing stopping me from just getting up. It's right there, right? And then I had window seats where it's like it's a little bit annoying because you got to climb over usually 2 people, sometimes 3 people, depending on the flight, depending on the size of the plane, to get to the bathroom. And it's like if you have a super long flight, you have to like time it. And same thing with middle seats. Middle seats are squished anyway, so it's like, I'm not a very big window seat guy. I think the aisle is the way to go. And it's like, sure, yes, and at times in the aisle seat, you're going to have people that have to climb over you. But I can't really sleep on planes anyway, so to me, that doesn't seem like that big of an issue. And all you have to do is just like literally like, and I think I did exactly this in the last episode. You literally put your seat up and then you move to the side. And it's like you put the seat rest up and you move to the side, which is just super easy to do, and it doesn't inhibit you versus like if you're in the middle and someone on your left on the window seat wants to get up, everyone has to stand up, right? And everyone has to kind of get up to get out, right? And I think the aisle seat is just way better. So next time you have the chance to choose your seat, choose the aisle seat. And make sure that like you get like it's just a much better experience, especially for longer flights. For shorter flights, you could firm it, but for longer flights that are like 6 to 8 hours, sometimes longer. Like I think it was longer than 8 hours. I think my second flight was longer than 8 hours. Like the flight from Spain or from Portugal back to Canada. It was like the recent one back in February. It was more than 8 hours, and I had a middle seat, and it was like kind of. It's like I had to hold in my pee a little bit, and I had to time it so that I only peed once, or when the person in the aisle went to go to the bathroom, I went as well. Like you don't need to do any of that when you have the aisle seat. You can just truly have the freedom to kind of do what you want, go where you need to go, right? So that's what I would say. Next time you have a flight, aisle seat is the best. Number 9, don't debate with family members about politics. And this was kind of an early idea that I had, because in that moment back then, I got into a couple of arguments with family members, like heated debates based on political views. And now I've kind of fallen, like after the time has passed, like it's been like so long, it's been almost 6 months since I made that video. I've moved now to a point where it's like, I just do not care about politics at all. Like politics is one of the biggest ways that we divide each other. And I seek unity. I find unity through Christ, through God, through religious principles, and through the teachings that are within the Bible and the Holy Word. But you can find unity in other things. And I think just to say, we're not going to talk about Trump and doing all and whatever shenanigans he's doing. And it's like, and even back then, like it was a big thing based on like when Charlie Kirk died. Obviously, like that hit me very hard, and that was the thing that we got into a huge fight over. And it was like. And it was like, why? You know what I mean? Why are we fighting over these things, right? The way I look at it is it's just a way to keep you divided from the people around you. Because you start to think, oh, my values are the real values, the true values. I think the only case where that actually stands and that holds is with Christ. But politics is so feeble, it's so weak, it's so just like it can change at any point, right? It's so slimy. Nothing is really real. It's all fake, and it's like all it wants is for the common people to be divided against their family members, so that it gives the people at the top more leeway to have more control over people. And I think we need to unify. We need to unify, not divide. And the biggest way we divide is by politics. I truly think that. And even all of like the social issues, it stems from political beliefs as well. So, me personally, I'm just talking based on experience that like the second I made that super clear and super abundant that we're not going to get into fights about these things anymore, was when my relationships with the very same people that I had these debates with got better. It started to get so much better. And we avoided a lot of these debates and issues. Like, it's fine when it's just a debate, but when it gets heated, and politics is just what makes it makes a debate, and it turns a debate into something heated, and into literally like insulting each other's character because you disagree with their ideals and their morals and their values. And it's like, no, my morality, my value is in Christ Jesus, and really nothing else. Anything past that is kind of up for discussion, right? Like the abortion conversation is up for discussion because it's like, that's not specifically talked about in the Bible. I have my own opinion on it, but someone else will have another opinion on it. And it's like you don't need to let that get between your friendships. You don't need to let it get between your relationships. And I think politics is like the biggest thing that gets between us. And when you put something between us, it just ruins relationships in so many cases. And that's all the people want, is for us to be the people that run the world. That's all they want, is for us as the common people to be divided against each other, so that we don't actually realize that they're just slowly trying to control us in an even greater way. We need to unify. And I find unity through God, through religious principles, through Christ, and through the truth that is within the Bible. But there are many other ways you can find unity. And unity, I think, is just to realize, hey, we disagree on this, but that's okay. It's okay to disagree. You don't have to hate each other for it. You don't have to be angry at each other for it. You don't have to have a heated intellectual argument over this issue, because it doesn't really affect us, and there's nothing you can do about it anyway. So let's focus on kind of unifying and living our lives and appreciating each other's companies for the reason we like each other, right? And the reason why we appreciate each other's company. I think that is the way we need to move forward, not by falling into politics. And I said specifically family members, but even friends, I think, as well. Like, sometimes people need to be put in check, and I think that's important, but also like you ruin the relationships with your friends as well in a similar way. I think family members for sure, first and foremost, because like these are the people that you truly care about. And the worst thing you want is for you to like start to think that you're better than them, start to have that pride, because you have a view of the world that they don't share. But that's not the case. That's never the case. It's never the case. Like, it's like you're not so high and mighty ever above anyone around you. Especially if you fall super deep into just, I don't know, whatever. Like, honestly, I'm done with this topic. I think I've said the point that I've needed to say, that it's just not productive. It's only pushing you against each other, and it's just creating friction, when you need to create things that create love and create unity and peace and joy with each other's presence. Politics just strips all that away in the most violent way possible. So I would say avoid it. Avoid the discussions of politics at all with family members and with friends. And number 10, the final one, is eat your body weight in grams of protein. This is also one of those Alex Hormozi, like, you do this one thing and you have all these other benefits from it, right? It's like, if you eat your body weight in grams of protein, it's like, that is what your body actually needs. If you do that, you will start to gain more muscle. You will have that, like, the testosterone will get better. You'll be able to do more in the gym. You'll be able to push more weight. You'll be able to grow stronger and just feel better. Like, you eat carbs and stuff and it makes you feel bad. Like, it makes you feel sluggish and lazy and tired. Whereas eating proteins, and many different types of proteins, it just, like, it gives you that extra energy. And that's the whole point, is it's like pastas are good, like, they give you fuel, but you have to go through that part where you're just kind of sluggish and you're digesting it, and that takes a couple hours before you can get into what you need to do. Whereas if you're eating meats and proteins and things, like, proteins fill you up and proteins give you that energy. Whereas carbs just kind of make you sluggish and tired and like just kind of like demotivated even because you're just kind of like, ugh, like you feel full, right? Especially if you have a lot of pasta or something like that. Meats and other types of protein will allow you to have more energy, to put that energy towards working out, to exercising, and you'll only see exponential gains in yourself, in your muscle mass, in like the amount of weight you can push. And by like, you don't even need the artificial substances. Like, you don't even need to take creatine or to take pre-workout or to take whatever. If you just eat your body weight in grams of protein, you're going to naturally get all of the nutrients you need anyway. So you're not going to need to like artificially enhance it in any way. And you'll be able to make great gains. You'll be able to make great strides in yourself, in your health, and in your strength, right? In your actual physical bodily strength. Protein's great. And even for someone who doesn't go to the gym, protein is so much more beneficial for you just energy-wise, just to give you energy versus the carbs. And like carbs give you energy. Like don't think that I'm being dumb. I know that carbs give you energy. That's how it is. And sugars they're broken down in your body into ATP. I get it. But proteins are maybe what give you that, like, that muscular energy. Let's say the proteins go into the muscles, and I think that's really true. Whereas carbs, if you eat too many, can kind of have like a counter effect. And you see that. I think you really do feel that by just, like, if you have a big bowl of pasta, you just kind of feel sluggish. You have a bunch of pizza, you're just full. Like, I went to the Olive Garden once. Like, I just, like, didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sit there and just be like, and just moan and groan about how full I am. Like, just be like, oh, right? Because in Olive Garden, you have like the breadsticks, you have like 3 different soups, and then you have your actual main course, and then you have dessert, and it's like you're just dead when you're done. Like, you're just so completely just cooked. And like, that's what carbs can do to you if you eat too many of them. Whereas proteins, I think, never do that to you. I think protein is just something that is just really great. And more people need to eat more protein. I think if more people eat more protein, like real protein, not necessarily, if you need to have artificial protein, you should. It's probably better than nothing. But whenever you can, natural protein, eggs, meats, fish, whatever, like wherever you can find it, nuts even have decent protein in it. However you can find it, like even in milk and yogurt, you can find a good amount of protein. The more you consume in protein, and again, your body weight in grams of protein is what really your body needs. The more you consume, the better you'll see like the results when it comes to your muscle mass, when it comes to your growth, when it comes to your strength, and when it comes to your energy in your day. So those are the 10. They kind of stay pretty similar. I think they still apply, and I've just tweaked it, edited it a bit, gave a little bit more context, gave a little bit more of like explanation to these things. But I personally have found, and like I've said this exact saying so many times, like I have found, because this is my own experience that I'm drawing from, that I've found that these things are very positive, and they have made good, solid, positive changes to my life. And the point is that they are very simple and easy to do, right? Like, it's very easy to do. You just buy some nuts and have some protein, or you just adjust a couple of settings to change the way you do things online, right? Or you use AI to make things a little bit faster, right? All these things you can do, and they're just easy. You can do it today. The only thing you really can't do today is the aisle seat on the airplanes, because that you have to wait till you have your next airplane flight. But now you know, and now you know what makes a difference, right? But you can do 9 out of 10 of these things today, and you will find good, solid, small, but impactful changes to your life in your day-to-day. So I encourage you and I ask you to go and do these things, right? At least get one of these things and make a couple of these things happen. And you'll find that you'll be able to be more productive. You'll optimize for productivity, and you'll just be able to feel more healthy, more good, more energized, ready to go. And in any way possible, you can pursue just greater life purpose, life meaning, and fulfillment in your days every day. So that's all I got for today. This was a reworked episode from the past. I'm going to continue to do some of these because I personally really think that it's impactful. I think getting these words out there again and getting like these exact things, just kind of repeating them and saying them again, I think is very good. And I made an episode a couple weeks ago talking about dreams. Reworking an episode I made in the past about dreams. I think that was a very good episode. I hope that this one was also just as fruitful, just as insightful and filled with wisdom and knowledge, that it can help you do better in your life as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep making old episodes and repurposing them into something better and more concise and more modern, let's say, more recent. This is just an example of that. I really do hope that you take some of these and apply them to your life. So as always, I thank you for watching. If you're still here, of course, I appreciate you. And, just do what you need to do, right? Like, go out there and pursue the good things every day. Show your support to this show in every way you can. On YouTube, it's going to give you a video that YouTube thinks you'll want to watch. So I recommend that you go and see it. Go check it out. And watch some of the other episodes on this podcast. I've made so many great episodes. So I hope you really do enjoy it. As always, like the video, subscribe on YouTube, and follow on Spotify. If you enjoyed this episode, show your support in any way you can. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode.